Your love is like radiant diamonds bursting inside us, we cannot contain. Your love will.
Camp Bahama started back in 1993. God kind of gave me the vision for what the ministry would look like, and from there I went to seminary to get trained to do a youth camp, and we just started after seminary. We came in 1999 and we started Camp Bahamas Ministries with mission teams. Then we progressed into day camps, and from there overnight camps. Now we do retreats, school groups, mission trips, and camping itself.
Richard Albury is the director of this camp, and his family, they live here. Richard's Bahamian. He was born and raised here, but I got to know Richard back in my probably middle school days, and he was in high school, and his brother Tim was in my class at school. So I got to know the Alburys then, and remember I knew they were from the Bahamas, and so it's neat to see that he's come back here to his home to reach the Bahamian children.
As we were driving through the island, I was really surprised at how sparse it was until we hit like an actual little town.
It's not like I said, it's very concrete and run down, brightly painted but still run down. Lots of concrete buildings that are half built or abandoned.
The first settlement we came to is like a quarter of the size of Rodanthe. When we pulled into the gate at Camp Bahamas, I think I thought that we would pull right into the original camp, and we drove down this road for like a mile, like this dirt road forever. And there's all these cabins right on the water, and it's just beautiful. It's like the prettiest thing I've ever seen.
Camp Bahamas is a really pretty place. It was more rugged when we came here. There wasn't a lot of open space as far as I could see.
The work here physically has been, because I'm 48, I'm old and I'm fat, it's been hard and laborious for me, but also for the kids. It's out in the sun, it's hot. I chainsawed a lot. I don't know how many trees, but for 2 straight days I ran the chainsaw all day, cutting down trees, clearing brush, and now I'm on a machete chopping down weeds and brush.
I have been macheting things like trees and bushes, and I've also been carrying the trees and bushes that other people cut down to the bottom into a huge pile.
It was fun hanging out with Michael during the week and chopping down trees with him.
At Camp Bahamas here, this is the only Christian outreach they have on the Bahamas, on the islands. And what we're doing here, we're just cleaning a hill. We're taking all the weeds off of it, doing this for God's glory. We know that this area right here is going to reach many kids for the Lord through the different activities they have. And so we're excited about being here, supporting Camp Bahama in this way.
So we've been on the hill for 3 days now, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. You have to walk all the way to the top. They cut the trees down with the machetes, and it is hard work.
I think they've been doing a good job. It's hard work. It's physical labor, and most of us are soft. We're not used to that. So they're taking a lot of breaks, but they're doing a lot of very hard and hot work, and without a whole lot of complaining.
Yeah, the attitude's been good. You ask them to do something, and they take right off and do it, no complaints, and get it done.
What we're doing at Camp Bahamas is kind of the same as what John the Baptist did, because we're preparing the camp for the kids, and here's preparing all the people for Jesus to come, and we're preparing them to learn about what Jesus did for them.
On Easter Sunday, we went to a Haitian church. That was interesting. It's different. The very colorful church. Inside, they had banners, their pews. It was nice.
When I spoke at the Haitian church, I was kind of scared at first, but as I began to talk more and hearing their reactions to what I was saying, it kind of was easier to go along with.
I enjoyed it. They were all really together. The way they worshiped, you could hear the people more than the band.
At church, it was really different from ours because we couldn't really understand their language, but the translator would say some of the parts so we could get a brief idea of what they were saying. So I thought that was really cool.
In the service, the people were very active in worship. There was a lot of crowd support. When the pastor would say something, they'd all cheer and wave their hands.
Everyone was really like into it. Like you couldn't even like hear the people like on stage singing. Like all you could hear was like the church like singing, and they had their hands in the air, and they all loved it. Like you could really like tell the joy and worship like in the room.
It was really great. In the afternoons, we go to the park, and all the little kids would come, and they were like intrigued, and it was wonderful.
When we went to the park, we played basketball and we talked to them and told them stories.
Well, we've been reading Bible stories to them. I got to do that yesterday, and we've been playing sports with them, and yesterday we gave them ice cream.
My passion is soccer, and so it was fun playing with the younger kids and like getting to talk with them.
It was fun playing basketball with the kids because it brought joy to them, and it was cool playing with people that spoke a different language. We all bonded.
The dentist back home gave us toothbrushes and floss, so we made sure every child got one, and they were thrilled with that.
When people think about the Bahamas, where Eleuthera is located, they think about vacation and fun in the sun and just going to have a good time. It's paradise on the outside, but on the inside it's just a dark place where people need to hear about Jesus Christ. And it's going to have to start with the children so that there'll be adults in the future who are living for God.
I found that if you're a young person that wants to live for Jesus, that there's very little for you. You know, what Camp Bahamas is doing and how they're reaching the youth is so critical, and is such a critical part of our nation's history, and critical to, I think, even moving forward in the future. I know when this place is done, I know of nothing else in the entire Caribbean like this place and the potential that it has. For me, my hope, my goal is that people leave here with more than just a suntan and Goombay punch. I want people to leave with a changed heart, with seeds that will become trees.
A lot of times people think about the Bahamas as a vacation spot. You think about Atlantis, the hotels, the beaches. Bahamians die and go to hell too. You know, they need the gospel just as much as any other nation. It could be Africa, it could be Asia, it could be anywhere around the Caribbean, anywhere around the world. So there are people, there are kids, there are persons dying and not knowing who God is. And so that drew me back to home and just trying to preach the gospel to them. What we do, especially with me and Red, we just want to see the kids change. You know, we want to see the kids experience God, you know, because a lot of times they would go through the motions of church and youth group and, you know, might be a college life or, you know, whatever, but they never get to experience God in a new way. And so I believe that if we catch the youth, we catch the future.
For Michael and I believe that our passion is to see kids really live their lives for Christ and not just hear about Christ from us, but to see it in our actions and to understand really what it means to have Christ inside of your life.
It was great to take students to Eleuthera, to Camp Bahamas, to let them experience stepping out of their comfort zone, because they did. As a teenager, speaking in a Haitian church with an interpreter would have scared me to death. The thought of me getting to preach there was scary enough, but to be a teenager to do that, to be a teenage kid and to stand up in a park where kids are playing ball and tell a Bible story and share about Jesus, that's moving out of a comfort zone. To do really hard labor and some things that were dirty and gross and just hard, sweaty and just physically intense, that's moving out of our comfort zone. And I think we as a church, adults included, need to start looking for ways to step out of our comfort zone where we're comfortable and start really doing things for Jesus Christ to reach the Outer Banks, but also to reach the world